Now, some travelers stuck in Ghana due to the lockdown are calling on government for support. One of them, who returned from Liberia in February to visit his family, now has to rely on friends to survive. Carl Williams works in Liberia and returned to Ghana to visit his wife and children. He was to return in the first week of March, but could not do so due to the lockdown. Mr. Williams lives at the Bujumbura camp, and he joins us on the line with some more information. Let's find out first if government made any plans for such people who might have traveled into the country before the lockdown. Information Minister Kojo Oppong-Nkrumah joins us now. Thank you very much for your time, sir. Well, let's speak to Carl Williams first, and then we can get some answers from Mr. Oppong-Nkrumah. Carl, how are you doing?
Yeah, not bad. Thank you.
You were supposed to have returned, but you're unable to do so. How is this affecting you and your family?
Basically, it's not been easy.
Yes.
But God has been good. I was supposed to return the Tuesday after the Monday when the border was closed. And then it's not been easy, although we're trying to get by, thanks to the benevolence of some of my Ghanaian friends. But that aside, everything, I'm just sitting home, nothing to do with the move to, and in keeping with the student's directive. I don't have access to my account. Obviously, it's in Nigeria. We also closed the border over there and stuff. So we're stuck.
If you have your family here, shouldn't it be easier? What kind of work do you do in Liberia, and are you still operating such
I'm a consultant in Liberia.
Pardon me?
A consultant.
You're a consultant. And yeah. I don't know the situation in Liberia. Is there any form of a lockdown, and is your company operating?
Well, Liberia, as we speak currently, is under total lockdown, the entire country. So we can't even move from one county to another as per the law. And those within Monrovia, within Montserrat County and Margidi County have restricted movement. There are certain areas you can go, and generally you cannot be out after 3 p.m. Even the conditions there are stricter. And especially so because of the lessons learned from the Ebola crisis. So it's even stricter than what exists in Ghana here.
Is your work such that you'll be able to work from home even if you return to Liberia? What are you missing out with your stay here in Ghana?
Everything. I mean, basically, you know, I'm self-employed, so I need to hustle for work to get paid. So if I'm sitting and I'm not working, obviously I can get income. So it's more or less like an everyday movement.
So tell me, how have you been surviving with the family?
Basically, I said it's thanks to the benevolence of some Ghanaian friends I had when I was here years ago, and they got to know I'm here. They got to hear my situation, and they decided to help through mobile money. Send me mobile money when they can, and I'm very grateful to them for that.
Have you gotten in touch with the Liberian embassy here in Ghana?
No.
Why not?
I haven't. There's no way to do that.
You cannot call the embassy at all, even on phone?
The numbers that I was given are obviously not going through, and I made some inquiries, and I even hear there are no staff at the embassy because they've not been paid for God knows how long.
How about reaching Liberia to find out if your movement can be facilitated from Ghana?
Well, I asked a friend online, and he said that has not been considered, and he can't really say for sure if it will be under consideration because the whole lot is happening over there. And obviously, the government will have to concentrate on we have to concentrate on the citizens first before they can be thinking about those of us in the diaspora, and which of course will quite a number. Sorry, the kid was just kind of hard to get out.
So whilst it is difficult getting by here in Ghana, I'm sure you are worried about your safety as well. The movement from here to Liberia in itself could be problematic. Don't you agree?
Yeah, you see, I always tell my family, by the grace of God, we survived Ebola. I was there throughout the entire Ebola stuff. And the protocols are given as strict instructions. I mean, I find it a bit interesting how people flout lockdown rules here. They can go out or just want to go and see what's going on. In Liberia, you cannot because you'll be flogged. And so we know it, and when it happened, it's just so easy for me to obey the rules, stay at home, and be at home. I mean, it's easy for me to do that because I've been used to it before. I know what failure to adhere to the instructions will mean. So when it comes to safety from the virus, by the grace of God, we can manage to keep that clear.
Carl, thank you very much for your time here on NewsDesk. And Carl Williams is a Liberian who is here in Ghana. He came in before the lockdown. He's unable to return to his country because of the restrictions that have been imposed by government. We're trying to reach the information minister for some information on this, whether plans were made to take care of such people who are unable to return because of the movement on restrictions as well. When we have government, we'll bring that response to you. And we say thank you to all of you who supported Princess to get her leg back, and we say congratulations to her. Now let's return to our earlier story about some foreigners who entered the country before the restrictions imposed by government. Some of them are unable to return to their country. We spoke to William Carl, who is a Liberian, but unable to return because of the restrictions. Kojo Oponkrumah is Information Minister, and he joins us via Skype on NewsDesk. Mr. Oponkrumah, thank you very much for your time here on NewsDesk. Now, I want to find out, did government make plans for such people?
The foreign missions that have had occasion to approach government, that they have organized flights to evacuate their foreign nationals from the Ghanaian jurisdiction, have been assisted by government to have special protocols by which charter flights are organized, and therefore they're able to evacuate their citizens from within the Ghanaian jurisdiction at this time when our borders, as are the borders of many other countries in the world, are closed.
If the Liberian embassy, for instance, is offering any such service, because this Liberian we spoke to is finding it difficult to even get in touch with the embassy.
It's a state-to-state arrangement. At this stage, if the Liberian government intends to evacuate its citizens, they will make a representation to the government of Ghana through the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. It will be considered, as has been done for other governments, and the necessary exemptions given for the charter aircraft that they are organizing to evacuate their citizens from the Ghanaian jurisdiction.
And so for all persons in the condition of William we spoke to, who are, for want of a better word, stranded here in Ghana and would like to return, how exactly should they go about this? How can they get in touch with the embassies? How can they get out of the country, basically?
Well, generally, citizens are advised when you travel into another country to register with your embassy and to be in touch with your embassy, so that in times such as this, state-to-state assistance as is being organized can be availed to you. So, as has been done by many other countries, because we are not at this stage dealing with specific individuals, once these embassies of these countries reach out to us that they have an embodiment of citizens who they want to evacuate, then necessary protocols will be extended to them.
Mr. Oponkrumah, thank you very much for your time here on NewsDesk and for bringing clarity to that. Yes, but just before you go, we have reports also about people being asked to show party ID cards before government's decision to share food is extended to them. We know that government has given some relief items to some people. There are reports that people are being asked to show ID cards before they receive the relief items. Has that come to your attention?
I I know JoyNews is a very credible news source. You don't work with rumors and mere say-so by persons. I want to believe that you are in the process of validating for yourself whether these reports are true or not. What we have all seen as evidence are instances where people are not even observing social distancing. People are so crowded at some of these food distribution joints that we are concerned and asking that social distancing should be observed. It sounds strange to the ear that a claim will be made that during this process that before our eyes, people are not socially distancing and we're all worried about it. Now there's a claim that somebody is hiding in these crowds looking for party ID cards. I think as we all go out in search of validating it before we begin to have a conversation about it, the truth can become clearer to us and then we'll be in a position to respond to it. So I want to request of you as well to help us by validating, not just that I, Kojo Oponkroma, have said or have brought somebody who claims that somebody asked him, but to validate. You do a lot of investigative journalism to validate if any such thing has happened.
Very well, Mr. Oponkroma, we are going to forward such information to you and make sure that we have this addressed. Thank you very much for your time here on News Desk.